Hello YouTube, welcome to another edition of Cupcakes Comic Reviews with me, your host Lohit, and we are again back. It's Wednesday, so we are Venom Baby, and we're gonna have DC, we're gonna have a lot of Image stuff, we're gonna have a lot of indie stuff, and some special surprises, 2 collected editions that I got today. So stay tuned and check out the video. Alright guys, welcome back, and let's start this list with DC Comics first. So for DC, we've got the first book is The New Gods. This is a book by, again, Rambi and Evan Cagle. I've spoken about this like ad nauseum. So this is issue 9. I think it goes till issue 11, but this is about the New Gods coming to Earth. There is a kid involved. The kid could be a messiah or he could be a killer. So the New Gods and the Justice League are trying to figure it out. But meanwhile, their planet New Genesis is attacked by this alien race. So they're targeting, they want to hunt all the New Gods down. Darkseid is dead, he's no longer there. So yeah, this is awesome, this is amazing. So yeah, there is a lot of goodness in this. So there's a lot of action, there's a lot of suspense, and Rambi does an amazing job with the story too. So I am kind of sad that it's going to end after 12 issues. So I hope, just like his Swamp Thing run, this gets an extension. So I sincerely hope, because he's been doing very good, and this is again obviously the creative team of Dawn Runner. So, and yeah, it's got Mr. Miracle, it's got Barda, it's got everyone. So so absolutely happy to read this and get this. This is New Gods, issue number 9. All right, the next one is basically, it's no surprise, Absolute Batman number 11. This is again by Scott Snyder, and it's Clayman on the art. It's not Nick Dragotta, which is a little bit sad. I know they're giving Nick Dragotta a break, but dude, Clayman art. That's Clayman art. What else do you need? Nothing. So I think he's doing a good job. I think Dragotta has been given a break, but yeah. So I asked my local comic book store, like, what's the best, biggest selling book for you, and they said it's Absolute Batman. So, and it shows, like, it's on all the top charts for everything. So and it's a great story by Snyder. Snyder is just rocking it out of the park. And this is a continuation of that Bane storyline. So Bane again captures Batman brutally tortures him in the last issue, and this is a conclusion to that, and I think I've also heard that this is like an origin story for Bane in the solicits, but I'm not 100% sure. So, but yeah, but this again, I like Clayman art, man. It's not Dragotta, but then again, it is pretty awesome. It is pretty dope. Look at that panel, so yeah, that's Absolute Batman issue 11 for you. Do check it out. Number 1 comic book, number 1 selling comic book. So if you're a Marvel fan, if you're a DC fan, if you're an Image fan, at least you got to check this out, man. Come on, because it is the top selling, it is beefcake of comics. There you go. Okay, this next one is purely a cover by for me. This is by Bruno Redondo, the cover, and it is Plastic Man. It is Justice League Unlimited issue 10. This is by Mark Waid and Dan Mora, as far as I believe. I have read like the first 6 issues of it. I haven't been 100% caught up on this, but yeah, this Redondo cover is so good that I couldn't pass up on it. And Plastic Man is one of my favorite characters. He's really amazing. He doesn't have too many runs. He has got one Gail Simone run. He's got the original run, but yeah, but this is Plastic Man, and this is Dan Mora art. So the Justice League Unlimited. So I really need to play catch up on this, because I've read 6 issues. I've got 4 more to go till I can read this. But Justice League Unlimited, yeah, basically I can give you like a snippet of what is happening in the first 6 issues. So first 6 issues are dealing with this group called Inferno, who have come out of nowhere, and they're basically causing chaos all around the world. And then basically Justice League is trying to discover like who are these people, because they can't be the Injustice Gang, they can't be like Luthor, because he's imprisoned, he's now a good guy, Joker is imprisoned. So they're trying to figure out who it is, and there might be a mole in the Justice League. So so that's the premise of the first 6 issues. I don't know what is going on in issue 10, but yeah, look at the cover again. It is so dope, man. And he's not in this issue as far as I know, Plastic Man, but yeah, I hope that someday like somebody does this and he does this. I want to see this, because I really want to see this. Okay, the next one is the conclusion of the first arc of one of my favorite Absolute titles, which is Absolute Martian Manhunter. This is psychedelic. This book is psychedelic. This is amazing. It is by, again, Dennis Camp, and Javier Rodriguez does the art. So this is one of the most extremist portrayals of any absolute ultimate universe, alternative reality of Martian Manhunter. Because I've always been interested in Martian Manhunter, but I always thought him to be like a side character. But this book kind of blew me away, man. It is mind blowing. It is so good, and he's basically a detective. He's not having the best time with his wife, who's almost about to like leave him and dump him, and he's completely disconnected from reality, and he's got this presence now. It's a Martian presence, right? It's an entity, so he himself does not transform like you have in the DC continuity of the regular Martian Manhunter, but he has the presence, and the presence talks to him, and he's investigating like crimes. And yeah, this is gung-ho, it is berserk, it is bonkers, it is all the adjectives you can pull out from your list. And yeah, this is really classic, and even the coloring and the art, Javier Rodriguez is on another level on this. So this is issue 6. This ends the first arc of this, where I think he has to fight the White Martian. And yeah, so whenever this is collected, must recommend 100%. You will not regret it. This is one of Dennis Camp's best stories, other than Assorted Crisis Events. That's the multiverse book he's doing. I've heard good praise for that too, but for me, this is probably his best work. Okay, and the last one is, yeah, of course, to finish off the list for DC, is Absolute Wonder Woman. And this is again by Kelly Thompson, and Hayden Sherman is doing the art. I met Hayden Sherman last year at a con. He was a really gentle and humble guy, and this is really good. So this is basically Diana. She's now in a labyrinth. She's not exactly trapped, but she wants to free. There is an Amazon there, and her sister, and she wants to free that person. And she finds a Minotaur, and the Minotaur, initially she thinks that he's the bad guy, but turns out he's not. And she's basically now dealing with all these other creatures inhabiting there who are trying to kill the Minotaur, and she's basically fighting them. So again, one of the best portrayals of Wonder Woman. Amazing book. And I've read Wonder Woman has like the best runs, like Phil Jimenez and Greg Rucka, and the Cliff Chiang run, that was amazing. George Perez, so some of the best runs. And then this is one of those, this is definitely up there, because I think I like this more than Absolute Batman, and that's saying a lot. So yeah, so Absolute Wonder Woman is amazing, kicks ass, takes names. It's on issue 11, and even a single issue of this has not disappointed to me yet. So that says a lot. And I think that's it for our DC Comics. Let's move on to some indie titles and some Image titles, starting with Image. So I picked up Exquisite Corpses issue 3 and 4. I forgot to pick up 3, that's why I picked it up. And 4 is the one that dropped this week. So yeah, this is an all-out Assassin's War written by James Tynion Ian Ford, and Adam Gorham does the art, along with Michael Walsh, who I met in the Fan Expo TorontoCon last weekend. And turns out, like, the art is done by Adam Gorham and Michael Walsh, so both of them are on the art. But yeah, the story is by James Tynion Ian Ford, and even it says written by Che Grayson with James Tynion Ian Ford. So I don't know what that means. Are they sharing writing duties or something? Are there 2 stories here? No, I don't think so. But yeah, I guess But this is again all out assassin action. So there are a bunch of assassins in this town, and they have to fight and kill each other. And whoever wins, all these assassins represent like a state, and that state takes control of America basically. Well, that's the plot. And yeah, so it is a decent book. Exquisite Corpses, like they're all these like wacky assassins, who bring in their own talents, and people hire these assassins because obviously they want to win. So yeah, it is amazing. So you see this foxy lady, the fox assassin, and there is this like these 2 sisters, and she's like a jockey, and she's got like one of these crossbows and stuff. So yeah, different tools, different weapons, and they kill each other. So that's Exquisite Corpses for you, issue number 3 and 4. Next one is one of my favorite books, which is basically G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. Yeah, this is again Joshua Williamson and Andrea Molina. So again, this is the second arc of G.I. Joe has kind of like the last 3 issues are dealing with not the full team, but just with Baroness and CoverGirl. So as you can see on the cover, so Baroness has basically taken on a vacation. She's like, okay, I'm done with this. There's too much of this GI Joe versus Cobra stuff, so I need to take a break. And she's on the Joe's side in this one for now. I don't know if it'll change. And basically, she goes to Paris to basically check upon her parents. And what happens is Major Blood drops in, and then he wants to take revenge on her for what happened because they had an altercation in the first arc, and she blinds him. So, and CoverGirl is there just to keep an eye on Baroness. Because, again, General Hawk is not completely 100% sure of Baroness's loyalties. And then, so right now Major Blood traps them. So they're in a trap. They've got to work together, come out of it, and so this has been a consistently like good book. It's got Destro, it's got Major Blood, and it's got all the espionage stuff right now from the larger world of G.I. Joe. But it's also a Baroness and CoverGirl centric story. So I'm digging it, I'm loving it, and this is one of the best Energon books along with Transformers and Void Rivals 2. Okay, speaking of Energon and Kirkman, the next book is Invincible Universe Battle Beast, issue number 4. We're already on issue number 4. I just remember yesterday I was like ripping apart the blind bag for this and and getting my new variant covers. But again, this is Kirkman doing Invincible's Battle Beast. So Battle Beast wants to die. He wants to kill himself. That's basically his whole thing. And he's on this spaceship, and the AI he kills basically the inhabitants of the spaceship, and now he's just left with this AI. And he's asked, the AI wants to kill him too, and the AI basically tells him gives him all these mega monsters who can actually give him a good fight and probably end up killing him. And and he tries to fight them. He tries to fight them. He kills them all. And now basically he finds this alien dude, and whose planet has been imprisoned or overtaken by this another amazing warrior queen, and then or king, I don't know. But then this amazing warrior, and then Battle Beast. So he says that, why don't you go to my planet and we'll save them, and you got to fight this particular thing, this creature who has enslaved my planet, right? And then so that's what this story deals with, of them going to that planet and probably fighting it out. The art is again Ryan Otley art. I have Ryan Otley is amazing, man. So detailed color work by Annalisa Leone. So coloring is also amazing, as you can see. But overall, this is amazing. This is it is kind of like a Conan book in space, if you want to define it. Like basically Battle Beast wants to die, fights everything, kills everything, and can't die, and the story progresses. So I don't know how it would end. Probably end up with him dying, I don't know. Then you need to carry this on. But this is amazing continuation of Invincible Universe. So that's Battle Beast for you, man. Okay, the next one is an interesting title. This is called Escape, and this is by Rick Remender, and the art is done by Daniel Acuna. Daniel Acuna has done a lot of Marvel stuff, Eternals and whatnot, and this is his first collaboration with Rick Remender for the Ghost Generator imprint, which is basically Rick Remender's imprint. Not Ghost Generator, Giant Generator. I'm confusing it with Ghost Machine. But so this is all about so these are all anthropomorphic characters stuck in like a World War II kind of an World War II situation. So if you see, they're like planes like B-52 bombers and all these anthropomorphic animalistic creatures. And I think it's a tale of survival. The first chapter is called One Way Out. And sometimes I don't like 100% vibe with all the Rick Remender stuff. I did like Sacrificers. I did think that was awesome. I didn't like his Napalm Lullaby, which came recently. But I did vibe with Seasons again, the new book. But so it's like an up and down thing for me. I really like his all the previous stuff, like Fear Agent. It was amazing to me. And Deadly Class was another amazing book by him. But Napalm, I think then Napalm Lullaby is the only thing that kind of didn't interest me that much. But this is Escape, and I'm like super curious to see do I like it and do I continue buying it? Because Rick Remender sometimes like he really Rick Remender hooks you, and and his, of course, like his book with Brian Posehn, that was pretty good, the skateboarding book. of which the title is not coming back to me for some reason. But yeah, that was really good. And yeah, this is also, so I'm gonna try this and see if I like it or not. Alright, the next one is Void Rivals, which is basically Hot Rod and Springer and Derek and Solila, who are fighting on a planet, on the planet, together. And then there is Premier Zalilak, as he's called, and he's there, and then he's fighting Hot Rod, and then and Springer and Derek and Solila. And yeah, it's an all-out action book. So this has been running for 22 issues almost, and I am still hooked. I want to buy every issue. I don't want to quit on it because the Agorian versus Zertonia story is amazing to me. And there are other characters from the Energon universe thrown in. So there is, as you see, the first panel is Pythona. She's from Cobra La 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 La. So, and then so yeah, so, and you've got like Skuxoid also in this thrown in. You've got some Transformers thrown in. So it's a mixed bag of everything, but it's been the main focus is, again, there is Agoria and Zertonia, two warring factions, two warring planets, and they don't like each other, and there is a reason why they don't like each other, and that's the reason. And and then there is the son of the main prince, and from is Darek from the Agorian side, and from the Zertonian side there is Solila. They kind of like each other. They have a love-hate relationship now, and there are Transformers thrown in, man. So Hot Rod and Springer. So check it out. This is amazing. This is a good book. It's got all-out action. So I mean, if you like Kirkman, there's no reason you won't like this. So this is Void Rivals issue 22, man. Okay, we're nearing the end here, but still we've got some bangers. This is Mark Millar and Matteo Scalera, so with Nemesis Forever. So Nemesis is basically like darkest version of Batman, who's like completely evil and he's a thief. So this is the third volume of Nemesis. So we had Nemesis, I think we had Nemesis Reloaded, and now we have Nemesis Forever. So basically he's an evil Batman, he wants to kill. I like this cover a lot. It says, "I am back, baby." So so explosive. And yeah, I think, so again, if you like the dark Batman concept, you'll probably like this. So this guy is like really brutally evil. He uses like guns and everything, and at least in the first arc, he just basically like challenges people. He's like the commissioner of the police. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you tonight," and he'll announce it publicly, and then he'll just go all guns blazing, and he'll probably take over a passenger jetliner and kill the pilot and get the building, drive the plane into the building where the commissioner is, and he'll do all sorts of nasty and crazy stuff. In the second arc, basically, he's almost dying, but there's like but they resurrect him. So there's like a Lazarus pit kind of a thing situation going on. So he comes back and he's more brutal than ever. And then he even takes up a sidekick who he ends up killing in the last arc. So it came a long time ago, so it's not a spoiler anymore. But yeah, but try Nemesis, guys. Like Nemesis is pretty good. If you like the Mark Millar action, if you like the Matteo Scalera artwork, it is like totally action packed and kind of mind blowing. So yeah, Mark Millar, I like most of the Millar World stuff. He was also Nemesis was the bad guy in Big Game, the compendium book, that kind of the 6-issue compendium that Mark Millar did for involving all the characters of Millar World. So yeah, this is good. This is amazing. Bonkers action. You don't need to read any of that to just jump into this. This is probably an independent story. So just know that he's Dark Batman and he's evil completely. He uses guns and all, and then you can just dive into this. So this is Dark Horse, Nemesis Forever. And then yeah, last but not the least, we have a cover by. So again, the Red Sonja movie came out. I saw it. I kind of dug it because I like Red Sonja a lot. So again, this is a cover by Joshua Middleton, and this is a new series they're kicking off called Red Sonja Reborn. It's written by Christopher Priest, and the art is by Miraclo. But yeah, the cover was like really amazing. Like Joshua Middleton's artwork just like appealed to me, and that's the reason why I bought it. My comic shop only ordered this copy. This was the only copy they had, so it's amazing that I got it. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is a new story. I have no clue of what it's about. But again, most of the Red Sonja books are never disappointing. So, they're entertaining. I like Red Sonja. So, again, pure cover by. But again, if I dig the story, then I'm probably gonna, continue with this. I have a million covers of Red Sonja. just basically love her. So no other reason. Okay, this is the surprise part of the thing, wherein, I said I bought 2 collected editions. They're not exactly collected editions, they're like original graphic novels, more like. So the first one is Tom Scioli's Xanadax. So Tom Scioli is one of those creators, like, he's got a unique art style, completely different. He did the Fantastic Four Grand Design book. He's done I think the Jack Kirby book. He's very Jack Kirby influenced, and so he did the Jack Kirby book too. So, and he's done a couple of other things, American Barbarian and all. He's got like such a weird and unique style. He does everything by himself, first of all. So it's all art by Tom Scioli, story by Tom Scioli, written by Tom Scioli, drawn by Tom Scioli, and like I said, very Kirby influenced art of like the 60s and stuff. And this thing, Xanadax, he calls it a space opera. So basically, I think the premise of this is like there is this warrior called Xanadax. He's part cyborg and cybernetically enhanced, and I think he's fighting aliens and stuff. So I have no clue, but then he's amazing. So his Godzilla monster piece was the recent thing I read from him, wherein Godzilla is basically fighting all these literary creatures, like literary people like Sherlock Holmes and Dracula and a bunch of others, and The Great Gatsby. So that was his last thing. I think that has a collected edition. I think it was like 3 or 4 issues only. So Godzilla Monster Piece Theater was amazing. Then of course Fantastic Four Grand Design, if you want to check out more Scioli stuff. But like I said, again, completely unique art, not a lot of verbiage in this, but just more action, because that's the kind of books Tom Scioli makes, and the art is amazing and it's got a vibe. And yeah, totally curious to check this out. So space opera Xanadax is one of the OG collected editions. The other thing I got was is a book by Box Brown called The Accidental Czar. This is basically, so Box Brown, if you're not familiar with him, is like a historian. So he picks up all these things from, he picks up all these like events that happened and he tells a story. So for example, he had a book called The He-Man Effect about the toy culture in the 80s, but he doesn't start from there. He starts with the moon landing, basically with the moon landing and the rockets being going there, and then he builds on and he gives you more context and more history, and then he'll go on to like okay, the Nintendo was designing Game Boy and this was happening and that was happening, and then finally he'll touch upon like the main core of the subject, which is basically toys of the 80s like He-Man and all. He did another book called Tetris, which is an amazing read. If you haven't read that, please read it. It's basically the origin of Tetris, the game Tetris, the brick game. How was that conceived? And it involves espionage, it involves Russians, it involves everybody. And then there is this book called The Accidental Czar, which is basically the story of Vladimir Putin. So again, I wish that I had this guy instead of my history books, because this guy writes and draws everything, most of the stuff, this time he has got Andrew Weiss as a co-author. But again, Brian Box Brown, if you've not heard of him, so his art style is like this. Initially I was like, yeah, probably I'm not going to dig this or something like that. Every time I bought a Box Brown book, every single time, I haven't been able to put it down. I read it cover to cover. The moment I start it, I have to finish it. It is that good, right? And so check out, this is basically documents the history of Putin's rise to power, how he was a KGB agent, and then how did he become the premier of like one of the biggest nations on the planet, right? So yeah, so Accidental Czar by Life of Vladimir Putin, and yeah, so detailing all about Russia and chronicling his life and his rise to power, right? So yeah, very unique art style, 100% recommendation, totally check it out. And yeah, that was the last book, guys. So yeah, big haul, and yeah, I'll dive into most of these, and the ones I really like, I'm probably going to review on the channel, and then yeah. And the only thing is, like, subscribe. If you have any questions or comments on this, please drop in there, and then yeah, see you in the next one, guys. Take care.